You step outside into the freezing night air, or maybe you're walking down a dark hallway and hear a strange noise, and suddenly you feel an involuntary shiver ripple across your skin. Within seconds, the smooth surface of your arms transforms, breaking out into a dense, bumpy texture that looks remarkably like a plucked chicken. It happens instantly, without your conscious permission. Why does the human body suddenly decide to warp its own skin texture into tiny mounds just because the temperature dropped? To figure that out, we have to look at the strange graveyard of human anatomy, specifically the physiological reactions that we've carried over from our distant ancestors. These bumps represent an ongoing physiological glitch, a physical reflex that persists despite serving no meaningful purpose for modern humans. To see what's actually happening when you get the chills, we need to zoom way past the surface of your skin, down to the microscopic root of a single strand of hair. This diagram shows the cross-section of human skin. Right there, nestled at the base of every hair follicle, is a tiny structure called the erector pili muscle. When your brain registers a specific trigger, like cold or fear, it sends a rapid signal down to this exact spot, telling the erector pili to flex and contract. Because this tiny muscle is anchored directly to the follicle, that tight squeeze yanks the entire hair shaft out of its normal resting angle until it stands straight up. As the hair is forced upward, it drags the skin along with it, which tends upward to create that tiny raised mound. The texture we call goosebumps is the physical evidence of thousands of microscopic muscles all aggressively flexing at the exact same time. Of course, those little muscles aren't acting on their own. They take direct orders from an internal control center in your brain. The brain fires the specific command when it encounters three very different inputs: a sharp drop in temperature, a massive surge of emotion, or an unexpected physical sensation, like a light touch on the back of your neck. All of these seemingly unrelated experiences are routed directly through your sympathetic nervous system, the centralized processor responsible for handling intense external stimuli. This system operates as your body's built-in alarm network. It is strictly designed to execute immediate, involuntary fight-or-flight survival protocols whenever you encounter a sudden external stressor. Because it's an alarm system, it doesn't do subtlety. Whether you're reacting to a genuine mortal threat or you're simply overwhelmed by an amazing piece of music, your nervous system lacks a nuanced output. It just pulls the exact same emergency lever, causing all those tiny muscles to fire at once. To see why that specific lever exists in the first place, we have to rewind millions of years to a time when our mammalian ancestors were covered in thick, heavy fur. This diagram illustrates a cross-section of dense animal fur. When the erector pili muscles fire in a furry mammal, all that hair stands straight up, expanding the volume of the coat and trapping a thick layer of air between the skin and the outside world. This boundary layer acts as nature's heavy winter coat. The heat that normally radiates off the skin hits that pocket of trapped air, bounces back, and stays close to the body, providing critical thermal insulation against freezing temperatures. And if the animal is scared rather than cold, that same mechanism inflates its physical silhouette. Suddenly, an average-sized mammal looks much larger and far more intimidating to a potential predator. But over the course of human evolution, we shed that dense outer coat. Modern humans barely have any functional body hair left. Without a thick layer of fur to stand on end, that aggressive muscle contraction doesn't trap any heat, and it certainly doesn't make us look big and scary. We're entirely missing the physical hardware required to make the system work. Every time your skin breaks out into those little mounds, your body is essentially attempting to run million-year-old survival software on completely incompatible modern hardware. Speaking of strange involuntary reflexes, join us next time as we break down exactly why our bodies violently force air out of our faces when we sneeze. Until then, the next time your skin breaks out in goosebumps, just remember that your nervous system is genuinely trying to save your life. It just hasn't downloaded the latest update.